to.
I was talking about books.
I know it's educational. Okay. Right, okay. Could you call the roll call, please, Kathy?
Mr. Armstrong?
Here.
Mrs. Bedio?
Here.
Mr. Bonacci? Mrs. Matthews?
Here.
I'd like to
Stand.
make a motion.
We stand for the pledge first, though, right?
There's a flag.
No flag. Red, white, and black.
Here, people said it.
Here we go, red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'd like to make a motion to have Ms. Matthews as President Pro Tem.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye. Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye. I'd like to make a point of order at this time, a motion for a point of order, to make a motion to add to the agenda under new business, a resolution to approve legal services, flat fee agreement, appoint approved legal counsel, limit current legal counsel / advisors, and terminate current legal counsel and advisors. And I believe all the board members have a copy of that agreement.
Second.
I'll second it.
Mr. Armstrong motion, and Mrs. Bedio seconded. Roll call.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedio?
Aye.
Next are presentations, and I believe I was told that neither group is here this evening. Am I correct about that? The GFOA and the ASBO.
That is correct. They'll both be moved to future meetings.
Okay, this time, if we have any comments from the audience?
Yes.
Mr. Barnes?
There's no microphone, so I'll
No,
just,
I
I'll just
think
sit
we'll
here.
hear you. I think we'll hear you.
Well, actually, Mr. Armstrong's resolution answers one of my questions. I gotta say, tonight's meeting has the appearance of an end run and a sneak attack around to avoid having the other board members present. And frankly, it's an affront to the current taxpayers. With that in mind, you guys have ran on a platform that you preach financial responsibility and transparency while campaigning, but you've thrown that out the window tonight. The district could incur significant legal expenses and changes in legal representation that could have a very significant impact on any outstanding litigation against the board. And again, I have to ask you, what's the rush? If you guys have the votes tonight, why wouldn't you have them 2 nights from now or whenever the other board members are here? Plus, you would have the opportunity for an open and public discussion. And with regards to that too, I got to ask too. You've got a board member that you have to ask how can Mr. Armstrong ethically vote on something which appears to direct. Mr. Armstrong, we're going to start this discussion again. You can ask all you want. I'm not leaving. You're in violation of my First Amendment rights, and I'm going to continue on. How can you ethically vote on something which appears in direct conflict with pending litigation you have brought against the district and ultimately the taxpayers?
Mr. Barnes?
You cannot suspend the First Amendment rights of someone with a gavel or in the interest of the meeting. You cannot do that.
Point of order, you're out of order.
I am not out of order.
You're
You
out
are.
of order.
I am not.
Mr.
I'm
Barnes?
asking you
I am
to
not.
leave.
Again, I asked the question, what's the rush?
Mr. Bedio,
What
would
is
you
the
please go
rush?
to the janitor and have him call the police?
By all means, if Mr. Armstrong will sign the complaint.
Mr. Armstrong?
By all means.
Mr. Barnes finish, and then we can move on. And then
As long as he
Janice-
doesn't,
Are we
Janice.
doing, I don't
3
know.
minutes, I wasn't watching.
I have plenty of time
Not
left.
3 minutes yet. Let Mr. Barnes finish, and then we'll continue.
You're contemplating decisions that the voters have a right to hear public discussion on. To do it otherwise is a violation of your fiduciary duties as voted representatives of us. Continue to do that. Continue to do that, and that's fine if you want to. But what you do is you foster distrust, suspicion, not to mention possible ethics violations, and in addition to that, potential recall. Keep that in mind, and we'll deal with the First Amendment issues throughout this year. It's going to come up again. And Mr. Armstrong, I invite you to sign the complaint.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
I have a question, please. Mr. Barnes, how did you find out what we were going to do or contemplate doing today?
He's already got
I'm
it
done.
typed up. It's already
I'm done.
typed up on paper. He had to know about this before.
I'm done.
It's already typed up on
I
paper.
asked you a question and I demand an answer.
Well, I don't have to give you an answer.
Somebody already gave him the information.
In fact, I'll tell you what,
Yes,
if anyone
yes.
else asks, I'll
Yes,
tell them she told you.
You're interrupting the,
She interrupted me.
I will be at your meeting to talk about our Stow too.
You can come on up. Glad to have you there. We have open meetings. First Amendments
Okay.
aren't suspended at our
Mrs.
meetings.
Patterson, would you proceed, please?
No, the previous speaker here reminds me of a meeting at the board offices where someone else spoke to the board about something that was going to take place that no one else had knowledge of. So this has occurred over and over again at board meetings, and I am very concerned. I did not look at the agenda, so I could be wrong, but if something was just now added to the agenda and the previous speaker is addressing that, I'm afraid that that is also a disservice to the community. If something is confidential or being added at the last minute, I do not understand why some have the privilege of having previous knowledge and the rest of us do not, and I object to that. I think it's infantile, and we're better than that.
I think the board shares your concerns, Ms. Manson.
Thank you, Mrs. Patterson. Anyone else? Not at this time. Okay, motion for the, I'd like this time to recommend that the board, we have a motion for the minutes for the following board meetings, August 11th, 2014.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Mr. Armstrong, seconded by Mrs. Benjo. Roll call, please.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye. Mrs. Matthews?
Aye. Okay, at this point, we turn it over to our treasurer for reports.
Thank you. First item, financial report for July of 2014. I wish to recommend that the Board of Education approve the financial report for July 2014 as presented in Exhibit Number 1.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Matthews, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye. Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Second item, the check register for July 2014. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the check register for July 2014 as presented in Exhibit Number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Becky? Aye. Third item is the permanent appropriation resolution for fiscal 15. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the permanent appropriation resolution for fiscal year 2015 as presented in Exhibit Number 3. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Bedio, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call, please.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye. Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
And before I do the next one, I just want to remind you that there still are a few changes coming forth in our federal grants, so I anticipate there'll also be another permanent appropriation resolution in September as well. Okay, and the next item is return of advances and transfers. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the return of the 2014 advances and the transfers for 2015 as presented in Exhibit Number 4.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Armstrong, seconded
Second?
Moved by Mrs. Matthews, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia?
Aye.
That concludes my portion of the agenda. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to table the superintendent's recommendations until the next meeting, please.
Second? Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye. That's all the way down to old business. Old business? Is there any old business?
New business?
Old business.
No, old business.
No old business, and now we're up to the new business.
Okay, new business is the agenda item that we had moved and put on the agenda. And I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the resolution to approve legal services flat fee agreement, appoint approved legal counsel, limit current legal counsel / advisors, and terminate current legal / counsel / advisors as detailed in the exhibits in the contract that were given earlier.
A second. Moved by Mr. Armstrong, seconded by Mrs. Bedia. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bedia?
We have any discussion? What's discussion? Discussion, sure. That'd be good.
This has been a long time coming as far as I'm concerned. I've been concerned about the attorney fees since I retired in 2006. I have addressed this at many board meetings before coming a board member, and now that I'm a board member, I would like to see, and I'm going to see with this vote, if it passes, that we save at least $250,000 minimum. And that gives us extra money to pay for our new business administrator, and it also will pay for the $30,000 that we appropriated a few meetings ago for the turf, which is for the kids. And it still leaves us a lot of green, as I call it, to do a lot of things without going to the public for another levy or an advance. And if we save $250,000 or better each year, that's great. That would pay for some of our buses that we desperately needed and put it into the general fund. So I am in full favor of this resolution.
Just one point on that is that the budget is forecasted off our actual. The actual 2 years is $1.1 million in legal fees. This will bring them down to $600,000 in 2 years, or $300,000 a year, which is $250,000 a year savings. And even though how you slice it, the legal fees that I was involved in, no way comes near to $500,000, as Mr. Barnes had pointed out earlier in a prior meeting. So this is going to curtail that, and I think it's a way, it's a move, and it's a 1 year. We can look at it again next year, and hopefully we will continue a trend of bringing legal fees down and giving more money to the students in the buildings where we need them.
I'm glad you believe that.
Well, I would like to share that there has been, McGowan and Markling had the Flanagan and Giffords group, who has worked with the district for quite a few years now. I worked closely with them while doing the business manager operations position, and I appreciate their service. It's very quick, it's very accurate. It has all been without incidents, and I'm pleased that the board is going this direction. We did receive a proposal a few months back that I would have entertained, but it was not suggested to bring forward to the board, and I am pleased to enter into this relationship. I too am concerned about the
add, I met Mr. Giffel and Mr. Flanagan during my first 4 years on board, and I have full trust in them. And it's very important with your legal counsel that not only do they answer you back very quickly, but that you can answer that you are getting good law. So trust is really a good reason to bring them on board for our legal firm. Mr. Martin, I just met you tonight, so I don't have anything to say, but I know you've been with the district in the past. So. For us, roll call.
Mrs. Bedio?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Do we have any need for an executive session? No. Okay. We need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Okay, 7. Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedio?
Aye.